with a high of 58. Your AccuWeather forecast, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
From local sports to national newsmakers, this is the show everybody is talking about. Live from the Granite State, it's Mike and the Hoss on the Pulse of New Hampshire.
Good morning and welcome to the Mike and the Hoss Show, powered by the Yum Shop of the Pulse of New Hampshire. I'm Mike Danae, and alongside Charlie Hossack, we are Mike and the Hoss. Gentlemen, how we doing?
Doing great. It's a beautiful October day. Yeah, it's beautiful. The fall's here. It's awesome. I took a walk this morning with the dog, went out into the woods, and the leaves are up, leaves are down. The air is crisp. Last night I did Friday Night Lights, and it's just it's a great time of the year before the season of yuck begins.
Yeah, it's coming. It's a good day today. Tomorrow's supposed to be okay, and then Monday's looking Monday and Tuesday are looking tough. Much needed rain coming our way, apparently. So
yeah,
it's hard to complain about it when we've had so little rain since the beginning of July. It's been such a nice run. But anyway, Hey, Patriots big win last week. Geez, that's probably the biggest win they've had in 4 years. A little momentum, a little positivity coming out of New England. It's nice to see. Bruins off to a 2-0 start. They play later today.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that one's going to be carried on this station there, Dog?
It's a 6:30 pregame, 7:10 face-off, hosting the Buffalo Sabres. So it's their first time hosting a division rival this season tonight on the Pulse of New Hampshire.
Yeah, off to a 2-0 start. I don't think we expected that.
No, how about this? How about the fact that last night, we're in the middle of Major League Baseball playoffs, and last night's game was an instant classic going 15 innings. I mean, it was just great baseball. October baseball is so good.
We're not doing that game on the playback. CJ's on vacation. We're not doing that game. Okay, we've only done one instant classic. We did the 2025 Major League Baseball All-Star game. I really, really, really want to do this game, but no, he's not here. And if he's not here, we don't do that.
You don't do it.
No, it was. I didn't stay up. I think last night might have been an argument to have the regular season rules for extra innings in play.
No. I disagree. No,
15 innings. God.
Totally disagree. And when it comes to playoff baseball, you play it like baseball was originally meant to be played.
Well,
no man on second. Nope.
Yeah. There's got to be I don't know. I'm sure. Listen, I went to bed. I went to bed in the 10th, and I was like, I just can't do this because this could go on all night. And sure enough, it pretty much did.
But it's okay. It's okay that it went on all night. The game was exciting. It was traditional baseball. We don't need ghost runners. We don't need any of that junk that they use during the regular season. During postseason baseball, just play baseball pure.
It's not junk. It's actually what's the things that save the game. The pitch clock. Do they use that in the playoffs?
Yes, they use.
Yes, they do. They do. The ghost runner on second saved part of the game. These games in the middle of the season not going until 1-2 o'clock in the morning. I think we're part of it. Nobody's complaining about that.
I'm not complaining. You don't need to argue with me about that. I'm not. I want
to argue with you today. I'm going to argue with you whatever I want to argue with you about.
I am not anti-regular season rules, but when it comes to postseason, and we could talk about this with other sports, it's just let them play and let the better team win. You run out of pitching, you might commit an error, all sorts of different things. Let them play baseball instead of having it end at the bottom of the 10th.
Does the ghost runner make an advantage for either team? No, it doesn't. It doesn't make an advantage.
There's an advantage that it's much easier to score a run. Just play baseball the way it's meant to be played.
What? It's an advantage for both teams. It's an advantage for both teams. If we were playing baseball the way that it was meant to be played, then baseball would be that. That's the argument on reason why it wasn't changed for so long. So if they're going to make changes to make it better,
what I'm saying is that now we can actually satisfy those that are ticked off because of the regular season rules. I'm not ticked off about that. Regular season, that's fine. You play 162 games. But when it comes to postseason, just play the game like it was originally designed to be played. That's all I'm saying.
We got to bring back the rules of 1936 now for Charlie, just because the way the game was. Abner Doubleday is going to be dictating the rules of the playoffs.
The ghost of Abner Doubleday, guys. 4 hours, 58 minutes. By the way, Can you imagine if we had more postseason games, like more game 5s yesterday, and then they had this game to start at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. their time? Oh my! It would have ended at like 4 or 5 in the morning.
I know.
Yeah.
I think it was a great game last night.
Yeah.
But I'm not against carrying the rules over. Anyway,
Yeah.
all right.
I have one thing. Hold on. Sorry. I had one thing, Mike. I was going to ask, and I didn't mean to interrupt. Do you think before we open the show, I could just touch on what I wanted to cover with the October National Depression Month? Is that okay?
Sure. Can I just? All right, go. You go first.
Okay.
You
All
go
right.
first.
Appreciate it. Okay. I just wanted everybody to be aware that October is National Depression Month, and Mental Health Screening Month. It's a busy month for the Lakes Region Mental Health Center. They happen to be celebrating 60 years providing mental health services on October 28th at the Lakeport Opera House in Laconia. They're having their big gala. This year's performance by Powerhouse Theater Collaborative, honoring the 2025 Community Mental Health Champions, food and fun. The public, that's all of you listening to this show, are encouraged to attend. Do you know someone in the Greater Lakes Region community who is a mental health champion? You can make a nomination through October 15th for the Lakes Region Mental Health Center. They are giving the Dr. Pete Harris and Helen Holbrook Awards. And then last but not least, there's going to be a silent auction starting live on October 15th for the Lakes Region Mental Health Annual Art Auction. Your winning bid supports local aspiring artists and mental health services in our community. Not to mention, you get to take home, of course, a stunning piece of art. For more details on how to bid, guys, just so you know, we're going to put this all out on our social media. But if you want to nominate a champion or secure your spot at the gala, you can go to lrmhc.org, or you can actually call 603-524-1100. That's 603-524-1100 and ask for development. But all this information that I just gave at the beginning of the show, we're going to put it out on our social media. You're going to get a chance to take a look at this art auction. There's a lot of good stuff. And actually, just so you know, there's some stuff that's on there that my wife has made so as well. But just so people are aware, it is the National Depression Month and mental health screening. We, as Mike and the Hoss, have talked a lot about mental health. We kind of wrapped it around Jaron Duran and his issues, and it's important to Mike, it's important to me, and I know that it's important to J-Dog. So thanks for supporting this awareness and the Lakes Region Mental Health Center. Thanks, Mike.
All right. Thanks, Charlie. Mike and the Hoss is powered by the Yum Yum Shop, located in the heart of downtown Wolfboro. It can be found on the Pulse of New Hampshire radio stations and all over the world on the Pulse of New Hampshire app. You can always catch up and listen to our previous shows on the Pulse Podcast Network, Spreaker, Audible, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. The Yum Yum Shop has over 100 varieties of fresh baked goods, including 6 different types of bread and a full-service ice cream bar. And, of course, their most famous item, the gingerbread cookie. Make sure to visit the Yum Yum Shop the next time you're in Wolfboro or online at yummyumshop.com. And while you're there, enter the discount code of Mike and the Hoss to receive 20% off the Gingy Box. You can join our conversation, 603-228-2080. That's 603-228-2080. And thank you to the Heinz Group of Philadelphia and London for sponsoring our live stream on Facebook and YouTube. All right, opening takes brought to you by the Back Bay Boathouse,
where you can enjoy delicious food and drinks right next to the lake. Don't forget to order the $5 Mike and the Hoss penalty box during happy hour, Monday through Friday from 3 to 5 p.m.
Charlie, I'll do it quickly because we're going to go to break here in a second. I don't know if you caught it in the news, and this is something that we've talked about a few times now. The Belichick demise is it's getting worse. It's hard to imagine that it's getting worse, and right now it's looking like he might not even make it through the season. He might not even make it to their next game. Complaints coming from the stories that are coming from inside the locker room, divided locker room. So a North Carolina station did kind of like an expose on the whole thing, and it went national, obviously. And the stuff that was coming out was so disheartening to us Belichick fans, or the people that used to be Belichick fans, on how far somebody has fallen. They had a bye week. He went on vacation. Not usually something that you see a head coach do of a major NFL program, or the divided locker room. he's being investigated now for improper gifts to some of the players that he recruited. The divided locker room comes from a division between the players that were there before and the players that Belichick brought in. The coaching staff's not talking to each other. The coaching staff's not talking to the players. It goes on and on and on. We said this before this happened. We've said that somebody needs to step in because of the Jordan Hudson thing seems to be the precipice of when this stuff started to happen. Back when he was in New England, he was making not similar decisions, but questionable decisions between coaching staff, between how he was treating his players, between the players that he was signing. And it's continued down in North Carolina. And so at what point does somebody pull the plug? At what point does somebody grab him and say, Bill, you need to go away? I think North Carolina might do that. The University of North Carolina seems to be in deep regret for the hiring of Bill Belichick financially and reputation-wise. They're not being taken as a serious football program now, and the product that he has put on the field has been horrific.
Yeah,
so, where are you at?
I'm at. So it's interesting that we're talking about this because it is obviously in the news. But the other piece is that here I am wearing my Patriots sweatshirt today, and I actually kind of take this a little personal in the sense that Bill Belichick, growing up, watching the Patriots the last 20 years. He was the greatest coach of all time and working with Tom Brady and winning all these championships. And his legacy is now, I think it's going to become this mess with Jordan. Nobody's going to care about the rings on his fingers. Nobody's going to be talking about the dynasty of the Patriots. It's going to be, this guy went down. And he went down quickly. This thing has gone so fast where, he got divorced and then he left his longtime girlfriend and then he got hooked up with this, 20-something and, he's left the Patriots. He doesn't talk to Bob Kraft. And it's turned into a complete mess. He's here at UNC. He's going to be the savior of the North Carolina program. That's not happening. And now he's getting all of these issues that you've discussed, Mike. It's an absolute nightmare. And you're right. His family needs to step in. Bill needs to step away. Bill needs to disappear for a couple years. He should never have sold his place in Nantucket. He should go to the island and disappear for a couple years so that maybe people can forget about him and he can keep his legacy intact.
Banning the university from tweeting about posting about Drake May. Between Julius Peppers and Drake May, one of the two top football players that ever come out of the University of North Carolina, and the university's not allowed to celebrate Drake May's success in the second year. They weren't allowed to celebrate the massive win they had on Sunday night in primetime because Belichick's petty about the Patriots.
Right.
It's incredible how childish the decisions that he has been making, and every single decision seems to be putting him in a worse light and seems to be it's not just tarnishing the reputation. The reputation's gone. Yeah. It's gone. The 20-year success of the Patriots, people now are like, how did Brady do it with Belichick? That's what the question now that it's moved to that. And how did Brady do it with Belichick? Because nobody seems to have success under Belichick except for Tom Brady at this point. And somebody needs to step in. This is exactly what we said about a month ago. Somebody needs to step in. Dog, you mentioned elder abuse. It feels so incredibly cringy now to see this this legend of the NFL, considered the greatest coach of all time, to become a meme and a laughingstock for people just to ridicule and make fun of. And it's all self-imposed. It's self-imposed. It's incredible the fall that this guy is making. And it's sad too, because back when we were doing the show in 2018, I said I was Team Belichick. I was okay with them getting rid of Brady. I was wrong. I'm almost speechless now. And every time I turn on the news and I see a little headline for North Carolina, I almost want to look away because you know it's going to be something that's bad.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, Mike. I don't know if you're at the level that I'm at, but I actually kind of. I mean, it kind of hurts a little bit, like when it's like, oh my gosh, this is someone I kind of looked. I guess we could say kind of looked up to, like. But I mean, like, this Patriots organization, and then like, oh my gosh, he has gone down this rabbit hole of just misery, and Tom Brady has, I think he continues to ascend, and it's just like, oh my gosh, it's awful.
yeah. All right. Hopefully somebody steps in. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Your home for news, talk, and information. This is 107.7 WTPL, the pulse of New Hampshire.
You made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Coming up at noon, we talk tech with Jim Commando. In the meantime, we're back to Mike and the Haas on the pulse of New Hampshire.
Six 603-228-2080. That is 603-228-2080 if you want to join our conversation. Let's continue opening takes brought to you by the Back Bay Boathouse. Charlie, you're up.
All right. So I wanted to, I think you guys know this, but apparently Shedeur Sanders is a better mime than he is a quarterback. He's had some issues. So just in case people are following this, Shedeur Sanders is the son of Deion Sanders, right? The prime time. He was drafted 144th overall in the 5th round. I think we were a little surprised that he even made it into the NFL. He wasn't a very good quarterback in college. Certainly there are better quarterbacks out there. So he was drafted by the Cleveland Browns. which is a typical Browns thing to do, draft someone that's not very good. That being said, he this week actually has a bit of a promotion because during the first 5 games, the first 5 weeks, he has been inactive on game days. Now he is the backup quarterback to Dylan Gabriel, who's the quarterback for the Browns this week. So he's now going to at least be the backup. He's been splitting reps with old friend Bailey Zappi with practice squad, who's on the practice squad and kind of running during practice. So the whole mime thing is when he was asked, right, by reporters how he felt, he did. And if you don't know what a mime is, and you can watch me, I can't mime, but I'm trying to do it here for you guys to see. And
Actually, don't want to mime on the radio. Do that.
Yeah. He got called out. He got called out by Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan called him out, and I love Rex Ryan's comments because he's such a grump, and he's really basically asking is, dude, you got to figure this out. You're not quality enough to be a starting quarterback. And Rex Ryan, I mean, kind of through his comments said, are you even good enough to be in the NFL? So there's a lot of drama with Shedeur Sanders. We think of the word nepotism. Is that the only reason why he's in the NFL? So what are your thoughts, guys? Because this thing kind of blew up the past couple of days.
I had a line in our notes that this is the reason why teams stayed away from him, because of the drama that surrounded him. And I don't know if he has it's a question if he has the skill to be in the NFL. I think that's legit. He might, but it's a question.
We don't know yet, I guess.
But he dropped as far as he did because nobody wanted to take on the drama that was going to come with him. What other third string quarterback were we talking about in the NFL this year? None. There was no other third string quarterback. And the days with social media and promotion and being Dion's son, it's all about self-promotion. And that's what these guys do. They just self-promote, and any news is good news. And so they do things like mimes. They do, those kinds of stories because it keeps their name in the news. We see it, all the time with social media people that they just anything that they can keep their name in the news, and that's what they want. There's an addiction there, and we don't know if he could play quarterback. We don't. But I am so thankful that he's not playing with the Patriots, because that's what we would be talking about right now. We would be talking about whether he's going to be the third or second string quarterback. And now if Dylan Gabriel struggles, we're going to see him go in the game. And God, this is one of those things that I almost want to see him go in the game so we can put this to bed. I really do. So find out if he could play or if he can't play. My feeling is that he can't play, because if he could play, he wouldn't be the third string quarterback playing, sharing practice squad snaps with Bailey Zappi. Ultimately, these coaches want to win. I mean, that's it. They just want to win. And if they had a quarterback that's going to help them win.
Bailey Zappi has more NFL experience than Shedeur, and I get it's Shedeur's first year, but I don't know. I think I have more confidence right now in Bailey Zappi to go in as the backup than Shedeur.
But there is an interest just to see it, just because of all this talk, just to see it if he can play. Now, if he can't play, well, I mean, I guess it's CFL time or something like that, the Canadian Football League, or is the XFL playing? I don't even know if the XFL. Yeah, so. That's where you're going to see him, or the Arena Football League, or those kinds of things, and maybe he matures and makes a comeback. That if this is assuming that he can't play, which I'm assuming he can't play, because it's not like Dylan Gabriel is the next Tom Brady. No. It's not like Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco was 40 years old, and Shedeur Sanders could not beat him out. So my guess is he can't play.
Yeah, good. Hey, want to talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about the passing of Mike Greenwell. So Mike Greenwell,
Gator,
only 62 years old, passed away of thyroid cancer. He was obviously a Red Sox outfielder. He was a 2-time All-Star, Silver Slugger. He is in the Red Sox Hall of Fame. As Dog mentioned, his nickname is Gator, and it's a cute little story that he got the nickname during spring training down in Winter Haven, and he captured an alligator. He taped its mouth shut, and he put it in Ellis Burke's locker, and that got him the nickname Gator. Other things about Mike Greenwell that I think great stories is that if you guys remember this, he got in trouble with the Red Sox front office, and it had to do with NASCAR and racing. And the Red Sox, they actually put a contract clause into Mike Greenwell's obviously contract about racing cars, because he wanted to race cars and he wanted to race them all the time. And it's the NASCAR clause, and it says it prevented Mike Greenwell from off-season racing while playing baseball. The clause specifically kept Greenwell from driving those race cars. And when he finished his MLB career, he dipped his toe into the NASCAR, and he raced in like the truck series and stuff. So racing was always in his blood. But for me, Mike, and I don't know about you, and Dog, you're younger than us, but 62 is not that far away from us, and that's young. That's young, and for a professional athlete, and it's sad. And I liked Mike Greenwell. I liked the Gator. Mike, I don't think maybe you feel as like I do, but I'm. Yeah, you get me back.
No,
but I miss him. I don't
know if you just cut out, Charlie. I was kind of mixed feelings on this one. I was a Jim Rice fan, and not mixed feelings as far as him passing, but I was a Jim Rice fan, and I always blamed Mike Greenwell for taking Jim Rice's spot.
Yeah.
And so I didn't have the greatest feelings toward Mike Greenwell, it was just, your childhood hero and the guy who took his spot. Mike Greenwell was a very good baseball player, and he was second in the MVP voting to Jose Canseco back in, I think, 88 or 89.
88. Yeah, 88.
Yeah. And he actually made a pitch that he wanted them to award him the MVP later on when the steroid stuff came out, that Canseco was juicing. Greenwell wanted the MVP because he finished second and he felt that he should have gotten it. 62, 100% agree with you. 62 is way too early. I do admire him in how he approached retirement, and he faded off and he didn't try to stay in the limelight. It wasn't that kind of a retirement, but he was a very good baseball player in his prime, and a lefty hitter that was a classic Fenway hitter. He could go the other way. He was able to use the wall, and he had good power. The year that he finished second in the MVP race, I want to say he got the RBI title that year, or he was right around the top of that. And back when hitters used to hit 300, he was able to hit 300. Now you bat 262 and you're an MVP. So it's a little bit different kind of game, but. Rest in peace, Mike Greenwell. You definitely were a character, and off the field especially, definitely a character. The other news that came out, and you obviously saw it, and you're going to touch upon this, and I had posted, it was a tough day for Boston sports on, I think it was Wednesday, when Greenwell passed, the Belichick news came out, and then the Paul Pierce news came out. Charlie, what happened with Paul Pierce?
Well, Paul, and we know that his nickname is The Truth, Paul The Truth Pierce. He was arrested on suspicion of DUI, driving under the influence, in California. And Paul Pierce said, this is what he said. He said he fell asleep since traffic was stopped for 45 minutes because of an accident, which truly there was an accident, and the freeway, the 101 freeway in California, was shut down. The California Highway Patrol said when officers approached, they found the driver, later identified as Paul Pierce, asleep at the wheel. Officers noted that there was alcohol impairment and conducted a DUI investigation. And through their police work, they determined that Paul Pierce was under the influence of alcohol and did not pass all the DUI tests and was arrested. So that being said, Paul Pierce, this is the whole thing. We talked about it last week, where if Paul Pierce, and I know he's going to have his day in court, and he deserves his day in court, but if Paul Pierce was driving under the influence, and his nickname is The Truth, I think it's important to tell the truth. Just if you did that and you made a mistake, own it. Just own it. Don't be making up stories. I fell asleep. He's saying that he was old. I'm an old man and I fell asleep. And listen, I've been stuck in traffic. I have never fallen asleep behind the wheel of a car. So it's just, I think I think as this comes out, I hope hopefully Paul Pierce, if he truly is guilty of driving under the influence, owns it and says the truth.
I would love to know where he got that nickname. Maybe it's, when you call a big guy tiny, maybe it's the other way. Maybe he likes to blur the truth, and that's why they call him the truth. But I don't understand where the truth and being good at basketball mix in with each other. I don't know where that nickname came from, but I agree. I think if he's the truth, he should have confessed right there and then. Yep. I had 7 beers and I'm, a little tipsy to drive, and so that's why I pulled over. That would be the truth.
He didn't pull over. The traffic was stopped, Mike. So imagine this, traffic is stopped because because there's an accident, and he's still in the main lane of the freeway, fell asleep, and he didn't wake up when traffic started again. That's why the police were like, why is this Range Rover sitting in the middle lane or whatever lane? So it's just, it's crazy.
All right. We'll be right back with some trivia.
This is
Doc, can you hear us?
Nah. All right.
Get in touch with the show anytime at thepulseofnh.com and on the free to download Pulse of NH app. Now, back to Mike and the Haas on the Pulse of New Hampshire.
Well, the good news is that I have found out how to get underneath Charlie's skin. So
Yes.
I eat peanuts and I crunch peanuts, and off air I like to eat peanuts, and Charlie just does not like the sound of the crunching peanuts. I don't eat them when we're on air though, so it's just off air, Charlie. But
I know, but it's
I'll
just
make
it's the crunching and then and what you do with your tongue and the noises and it drives me crazy. So now you know.
All right.
Now you know.
All right.
So
603-228-2080. That's the number you can call if you have an answer for trivia that Charlie's going to read right now.
yes. So guys, trivia this week is sponsored by Bailey's Bubble. Bailey's Bubble also sponsors our New Hampshire segment. So thank you, Bailey's Bubble. Family owned and operated Bailey's Bubble in downtown Wolfboro serves the finest ice cream in the state from May through October. This is the final weekend, Columbus Day weekend. This is it for Bailey's Bubble. If you can't make it to Wolfboro this weekend for your ice cream, you can still order their hot fudge, panucci, and butterscotch sauces at baileysbubble.com. My favorite, of course, is their homemade hot fudge. When placing your order, don't forget to tell them that Mike and the Hoss sent you. So you're going to win you're going to win a gift card if you get trivia correct today to Bailey's Bubble. Don't worry, if you can't use it this weekend and you don't want to order online, you can use it next summer when they open back up in May. All right, here we go. Today's trivia is a Major League Baseball question. Name the only Major League Baseball franchise that has never played in a World Series. Name the only Major League Baseball franchise that has never played in a World Series. 603-228-2080, 603-228-2080 for a chance to win a gift card to Bailey's Bubble.
So, as we wait for a phone call, I'll talk about the Major League Baseball playoffs for a second. The teams that are left are a mix of higher payroll teams and middle to lower payroll teams. You get your higher payroll teams as the Dodgers and the Blue Jays, pretty high payroll. They're at $258 million. I think they're number 4. And then the Seattle Mariners, which are 18th, 15th to 18th, they're in that range.
Good morning, Mike. On the
and then you have the Brewers.
Good morning, Mike. And on the ball.
Brewers and the Dogs.
Dog is live on the air taking the phone call, which is great.
There you
Thanks,
go.
Dog.
And then you get the Brewers who are 23rd. Quick question, Charlie. As a Red Sox fan, do you think it's better for the I don't know, we're picking up everything Dog's saying. Do you think it's better for the Red Sox if a higher payroll team wins the World Series or if a mid to lower payroll team wins the World Series based on how we've talked about the Red Sox? Right now, the Red Sox are 12th in payroll. That's where they're at. They're hovering around $200 million. We think that they should spend more money. If a lower payroll team wins the World Series, is that going to just kind of dictate the path that we think they're going, that they're trying to shed more payroll? Or if a team like the Dodgers or the Jays win?
Yeah, no, this is a great question because you're right. Let's say the Dodgers win it all, and then all of a sudden we're like, we need to spend more money. We need to spend more money, and that's what we've been saying. But if let's say the Mariners win it, and you're like, maybe Mike and the Hoss aren't right about this. Maybe the Red Sox know something that we don't know, and that you don't have to spend as much money to be able to be successful and win the World Series. I don't know. That's a great question. It's like, which way are we going to go? We want them to spend more money just because we were trying to solidify, for example, a first baseman or another starting pitcher, someone that's going to, get you kind of over the hump.
Or somebody that you want to go, or somebody you want to go see, a star.
Yeah.
You want to go see a star. We got to go to an answer for trivia first, because the Diesel from Warner has an answer for trivia. Diesel, before you tell us the answer, please tell us how you got your name, the Diesel.
One of my best friends gave it to me because I used to that was my name.
Awesome. I love it. All right, Diesel, what's the answer for trivia today?
My guess is the Seattle Mariners.
You are correct, Diesel. Diesel, you have won a gift card to Bailey's Bubble. Congratulations, Diesel.
Awesome job, Diesel. All right. Stay on the line, Diesel, and the dog will take the Diesel's information. So I need a good nickname like that.
I wanted to say something. This is great. So the Diesel said exactly what was supposed to be said. You can't give yourself a nickname, and there are people that I interact with that have given themselves their own nickname. You can't do it. So his friend gave him the nickname. So nicknames can only happen if someone else gives you the nickname.
Well, that we learned that one on a Seinfeld episode when George wanted to be called. Oh God, what did he?
I don't remember.
T-Bone.
But
T-Bone.
no,
George wanted to be called T-Bone, and he was called Coco. Yeah. So that I learned that lesson. But yeah, the Diesel. Nice job, Diesel. All right. So so to answer the question, do we want a lower payroll team or a higher payroll team to win the World Series?
I guess based on what we've been preaching, we want a higher payroll team because we've been saying spend more money. So
yeah, I think it's better for baseball if it's a lower payroll team. I do. I think overall it's better for baseball.
I agree.
You know, if a Brewers team or a Seattle team can win, then it just makes all those other teams more relevant. But with a team like the Red Sox, who have the ability to spend and choose not to spend, that's a little bit different. Milwaukee does, and Seattle don't necessarily have as much ability to spend. And you want to see the teams that have the ability to spend.
I think it would be exciting for the playoffs. I would like to see a team that is not in a major market win the World Series. Now, now that we'll be down to 4 teams after tonight's game. I don't want to see the Dodgers win. The Blue Jays, I don't necessarily consider them a major market, but I'm going to root for the Mariners. I would like to see the Mariners beat the Blue Jays. And for the NLCS, whether it's the Brewers or the Cubs, I'm actually hoping the Brewers beat the Cubs tonight. I would like to see the Brewers go on. So it'd be nice to get a team that's really not LA or Toronto to win the World Series.
Yeah, I think the Brewers are a great story, and so is Seattle. So either one, I think it could be good for baseball. Before we go to break, let's do a quick Bruins moment. Off to a 2-0 start. Nobody saw that coming. Beating the Capitals, who were won the division last year, and then beating Chicago, who wasn't very good last year, although they have Connor Bedard, who's a great player. And I put in our notes, I said, if you want to see high-end open ice hockey, you might want to tune in somewhere else. Because if the Bruins are playing exactly the way we thought they were going to play, that they're very, very tight, a lot of trapping, kind of pack it in around the goalie, a lot of defense. But you know what? You can win games like that. You can win games. We've seen the New Jersey Devils back in the early 2000s and late 90s win Stanley Cups like this, by playing a very tight defensive-minded game. If Swayman is the goalie that he thinks he is, then the Bruins might be better than we think, which brings us to our poll question from last week, Dog.
Yes, on X and on Facebook it was, will the Boston Bruins make the Stanley Cup playoffs in 2026? On X, it was 50-50. On Facebook, it was 71.4% saying no and 28.5% saying yes.
I wonder after the first 2 games now if we re-ran that poll, if it would be a big difference. They played today, and Buffalo is a weird team coming in. The fans walked out on them after the first game. That was a really tough story going out in Buffalo right now. So they might go to 3-0. Who knows? This week, Dog, what do we got?
Well, we had the Bruins with last week, and you've got the NBA season essentially opening up next week, not this upcoming week, the week after. So we thought we'd kind of preview the NBA a little bit since the WNBA wrapped up last night with the Las Vegas Aces winning another championship. They swept Phoenix 4-0. Will the Boston Celtics make the playoffs in 2026? Yes or no?
I wish we could touch upon the WNBA. We have to go to break here in a second, but exactly what we talked about, Charlie, and Dog for that matter. As soon as Caitlin Clark left the picture, the interest in the WNBA went down fast, and a 4-0 sweep in the finals probably didn't do them any favors either. So we'll touch more upon the WNBA next week. When we come back from break, we're going to do our picks and talk about the Patriots' big win last week.
News, information, and discussion. This is 107.7.
That's right. We treat every vehicle like it's our own. No, we are committed to fixing your vehicle right the first time. We've got the knowledge and expertise to tackle any problem that comes our way.
And we also know how important your family safety is to you. That's why we go above and beyond to make sure your vehicle is reliable and safe.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the repairs. When you drive into Pellerin Motorsports, you become part of our automotive family.
So listen, if you're tired of being taken advantage of, come down to Pellerin Motorsports. We're ready to take care of all your automotive needs.
Give us a call at 210-1637.
Here at LaChance Water Filtration, we're proud to announce that we have been voted Best of the Lakes region for water treatment once again. With over 20 years of experience, LaChance has seen all kinds of water quality disasters, but our expertise continues to come out on top. LaChance has won Best of the Lakes the last 3 years. Unfortunately, there's no such thing as a one-size-fits-all water filtration system. At LaChance, we tailor our filtration systems to your specific water quality and your specific wants and needs. Whether you want to remove stains, make your water safe to drink, or just want a little bit of extra peace of mind, LaChance Water Filtration can help you. After all, customer satisfaction is what won us Best of the Lakes region in the first place. Give LaChance Water Filtration a call at 603-732-2533. Visit our showroom at 200 Laconia Road in Tilton, New Hampshire, or contact us at LaChanceWaterFiltration.com to find out how we can make your water be better than bottled.
You're listening to the Granite State's own Mike and the Hoss on the Pulse of New Hampshire.
Yours truly had a good week last week with the picks. Can't say the same for you, Charlie, but that's how it goes. The big pick obviously was picking the Patriots over Buffalo. And full disclosure, and you guys know this, I picked that one out of spite just because you guys didn't pick it, but it worked out. It was a good night. It was a good week for the Patriots. And then they go into New Orleans this week to play the Saints. And I think this is a big week for them too, because they're either going to reinforce that win, or it's going to be a fluke. And so it's as big of a game this weekend. I think the big story coming out of New England is Christian Gonzalez might be hurt again. And he certainly changes how they play defense. He was a big part of that win. Played 100% of the snaps, for crying out loud. So it's a big deal. So anyway, any thoughts around the Patriots right now, or around the rest of the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, my thoughts are that one of the questions you had asked, does it change my expectations? And I think the Patriots are still what I had said at the beginning of the season. They're still an 8 to 9 win team. Obviously having that win against Buffalo was huge. It was the big win. I don't know if it was a fluke, but we'll see. I think you're right. The Patriots need to come out and dominate the Saints. The Saints are not a very good team, so the Patriots need to continue building on the momentum that they had last week in Buffalo. I don't think it was a fluke, because the game that they won a few years ago, that with the win game up in Buffalo, it was 6-3 or whatever that thing was, when nobody could throw the ball. Mac Jones, I think, threw the ball 3 times. That was a fluke. That was weather related. Did Buffalo look past them in this one? Maybe, but you can't say that weather was a factor. It wasn't snowing. It wasn't windy. There wasn't a lot of major injuries to major players. It was basically the Patriots' best against the Buffalo best. Now, I'm sure Buffalo could play better, but I think it gives hope. Anyway, I think it gives us hope as we move to that's one quarter of the season. So as we move to the next quarter of the season, right. I guess we're in the second quarter of the season. Weird, 17 games. It's hard to break that up into quarters now. So I guess they're after the first quarter of the last week's game, they were in the second quarter. If that makes any sense. All right, here we go. Picks. So I am 17-8. I just want to put that out there. I'm in first place. Charlie's at 15-10, and Dog's at 15-10. So you guys are in competition for who's going to be paying for my meal. I can't wait. All right. First game: Seahawks at the Jaguars. Seahawks are 3-2. Jaguars are a surprising 4-1. Just beat the Chiefs last week.
Right now, I think it's going to be, I'm going to go with the Jaguars. The home team's going to hold on that one. I think Jaguars probably are for real. All right, Dog?
Jags.
Charlie?
I'm going with the Jaguars.
All right. The next game is going to be the 49ers at the Buccaneers. 49ers are surprising 4-1, given the fact that Brock Purdy hasn't really played much. Mac Jones has been the one that's playing, through for over 300 yards, blah, blah, blah. And then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who I think are for real. I'm going to go with the Bucs on this one. I think the Bucs are better than the 49ers. The 49ers have been doing it with mirrors, and I got the Bucs. We'll go Charlie.
All right. I'm gonna pick the 49ers, but I just wanted to make a quick comment. Think about this: the Mac Jones. This is another. Mac Jones is playing quite well. This is another kind of knock on Bill Belichick, that Mac Jones, he kind of stifled Mac Jones and Mac Jones's development. Mac Jones seems to be like he's actually pretty good quarterback. So once again, I'm going with the 49ers.
He had a good game last week. Dog.
The M for MVP stands for Mayfield, Baker baby, Bucs.
Yeah. Next one's the Lions at 4-1, at the Chiefs at 2-3. Chiefs coming off that loss to Jaguars. They are hosting. Lions are rolling. They're right now in the power ratings. They're number one. I'm gonna go. Oh, that's a tough one. I'm gonna say that the Chiefs are gonna hold at home on this one.
Not me. I'm going with the power rating. Tom Brady talked about the Lions. Tom Brady's never wrong. Detroit Lions.
Dog.
Kansas City Chiefs, primetime Pat is back.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs are going to. This reminds me a little bit of the Patriots when they were rolling, that they would play at a mediocre pace the first half of the season and then take off. I think the Chiefs are going to be doing that. All right, the Bears at the Commanders. Bears are 2-2, Commanders 3-2. There's not a lot of good games this week, and so I'm going to go with the Commanders.
I was just gonna say, Mike, you're reading my mind. I'm like, this game, who really cares about this?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Compared to last week.
I'm gonna take the Commanders at home.
Dog.
Washington, and this is the second game of that simultaneous Monday night. It's not a doubleheader. It's simultaneous because, again, it's going to start an hour later after the other one.
All right, and then lastly, we got the Patriots at the Saints. Patriots coming off that big win. I think this is as much a must-win game for them to just validate what they've done so far as anything else. The Saints are struggling. The Saints are probably going to be in the mix for the number one pick at the end of the year. So I've got the Patriots.
Yeah, I've got the Patriots as well. Patriots are going to be 4-2, feeling pretty good. New England fans are going to be excited. Patriots all the way.
Dog.
Got the Pats.
All right, so I plan on still staying in first place after this one. Who knows though? Who knows? No big, there's no big games like last week. The pick of the Patriots over Buffalo was a big upset, but that's going to do it for us. Please catch us for Overtime with Mike and the Hoss, probably in the middle of the week. And thanks for listening. Have a good week.